Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 506. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is called Platform Payday, how to build a profitable platform. Platform Payday, how to build a profitable platform. So on today's show, we're going to discuss what is a platform, why it's important to have one, and I'm also going to give you 5 steps to build your own platform that you can monetize. Now, before we get to today's show content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my new revamped BEB Academy. Go to newbebacademy.com for more information. It's our online learning portal. We have all types of online courses, masterclasses, and content to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. In addition to that, we have live group coaching once a month, and you also have a community aspect where you can get in touch with other members of the BEB family, and you guys can communicate with each other and collaborate with each other. Go to newbebacademy.com. Now, let's get ready for today's show content, Platform Payday, how to build a profitable platform. Let's start by defining a platform. Now, the physical sense of platform is a raised stage. So a stage where you can communicate or talk to a crowd or an audience. But as an entrepreneur, a platform means something a little different. It's actually the medium or the way that you communicate with your audience. So a platform could be this podcast, which is a platform. It could be video. It could be written word. So that is what a platform is. It's a way to communicate with your desired audience, okay? Now, one of the things that I've been telling people for a long time, building a platform is a long game. Okay, I always talk about building successful, sustainable businesses. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. So I'm on episode, 506 right now. It's been almost 10 years since I've been doing this, and I've built a great platform where I communicate with the BEB family members. So it doesn't happen overnight. So if you're looking for quick money, it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. It's the long game. But there are certain mediums that you can build up a following very quickly. And we'll discuss that a little bit later on. So why is it important to have a platform? The key is you need to have a platform that you own and control. All right. Now, a lot of you are thinking YouTube is a platform, Instagram, Twitter, everything else, TikTok is a platform. They are platforms, but they're not platforms that you own. And there's some perils that can come behind that if you build your business on a platform that you don't own. And we'll talk about that, and I'll give you some real life examples a little bit later. So it's important to have your own platform because you control it. You can communicate with your audience anytime you would like to by owning your own platform. You also have the ability to turn the cash flow off and on just like a faucet. So I'll give you the example of Amazon. Everybody has heard of Amazon Prime, right? Or Prime Days. That's when they have all of these discounts and sales. And the reason Amazon is able to do that because they've created their own platform and they have access to their customer base via email and however else they communicate, commercials and things of that nature. So when there's a sale, when it's Prime Day, All Amazon does is contact its current database of customers and say, hey, today is Prime Day. Check out all these different deals that we have and go ahead and purchase it while we're doing this promotion. And what that is, guys, they're literally turning on the faucet whenever they want to. So when you build your own platform and you're able to communicate with your audience, you can actually have Prime Day any day you want because you own the platform and you're able to communicate with that audience. So that's why it's important to have your own platform, okay? So I want you guys to really start thinking the long game here. I know everything now is instantaneous. We want microwave everything, instant gratification, instant whatever you want. But this is a long game. And if you're looking to build a successful, sustainable business, building a platform or multiple platforms is the way to go. And we're going to talk about the monetization aspects of building a platform that are unlike any other type or strategy that you can come up with, because there are tons of ways to monetize your own platform. Now, let's discuss briefly why it's important to own and control your platform. And I'll give you a real life example. And if you've heard this example on the show before, bear with me. But I got to remember, a lot of people haven't heard all of the shows because there's 506 of them right now. I had a coaching client and he built his business on Instagram. And he was selling a product, an affiliate product, and he was making thousands upon thousands of dollars a month in the hydroponics space. And one of his competitors that sold the same affiliate product decided to sabotage his whole business by getting all of his followers to go and complain about the Instagram account of the guy that I'm talking about, my former coaching student. And unfortunately, because they did not have a database or weren't able to connect with their audience in any other form or fashion, when their Instagram account got shut down, that basically was the end of their business. So that's why it's important to own and control your own platform. Now, I'm not saying don't use social media, but you want to use and leverage social media to build your database. Now, I know people don't believe in email, right? Everybody says email is dead, but actually statistics show that there are more sales done on email than a lot of other platforms out there. Because when you have an email address and you have somebody that engages with you, then you have the ability to contact them and connect with them at any time, delivering all types of valuable information, not just selling them, but providing value. So when you talk about building your database, guys, I tell you all the time, the money is in the data. When Borders Bookstore went out of business, Barnes and Nobles did not go and buy their physical inventory. They didn't go and purchase their locations. What they did was they bought their database out of bankruptcy. So they found that the database obviously is the same people that were buying from Barnes and Noble. So why would I go and acquire more debt by buying the books and their inventory and also buying or taking over their physical locations? The money is in the data, and whoever controls that data controls the money. So leverage social media to build your database, and don't let what happened to my former coaching student happen to you, because after that, he never really built that business back up. Because when things are going good, guys, they're going good, and nobody thinks you need a plan B. But you always need to have a plan B, and you need to build your business on a foundation. That foundation is your database. So I don't care if you got 1 million followers on Instagram. Yes, you can make money off of that. You should make money off of that. But understand that you do not own that platform. And there are other people out there, their job is to sabotage you. If you're competing with somebody, a lot of times it's sabotage. Perfect example is why I don't give my brand names out on the air for all my physical products brands. I've had somebody with my Flatiron brand try to sabotage me, one of my competitors, for several years by having people leave bad reviews. And I know they were fake and bogus reviews because none of the reviews were verified. Actually, a few of them were verified. But I know that's what happened. So that's why I don't give out my information on the brands that I own, because unfortunately there are unscrupulous people out there that want to cause havoc and want to sabotage your income. And I talked about indestructible income on one of my episodes years ago. Indestructible income is where nobody can stop your income, because if they don't know where your income is coming from, guess what? They can't stop it, right? So you have to be super careful about that. So that's why you need to have your own platform. Before I give you the 5 actionable steps to build your platform, I want to talk to you guys quickly about owned media, earned media, and paid media. You see, most times when you have a product or a service or you're an entrepreneur, you have to pay to get eyes on your product or service. So if you're in the mortgage business, you may be running Facebook ads. If you own a gym or you're a coach, you may be running ads on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever, Twitter. So that's paid media. And one of the greatest benefits of owning your platform, guys, is you control the media. Really, you're building a small media company. This is something that I want you guys to really understand. So when you have paid media, or when you need to drive traffic to a landing page, your business or an event or whatever you're selling, you're spending money on somebody else's platform. So if you do pay somebody for a shout out on an Instagram page, they may have 500,000 followers on Instagram, and they charge you $100 to do a shout out or whatever it is. That's because they've built a platform. Now, that platform is not on their own. That platform is on Instagram, which can get taken away like that, a snap of a finger. But it is still a platform. So when you own your own platform, one of the biggest benefits is you don't have to pay to advertise. So on my podcast, I tell you about all of the stuff that I'm doing. And if it makes sense for you, like the new BEBacademy.com, I didn't have to pay for that because I built the platform. So let me give you a quick tutorial on owned media, earned media, and paid media, because that's how you get exposure. That's how you get people's eyeballs on your business or your product or service, whatever you're trying to sell. So we'll start with the easy one, paid media. And I just talked about that. When you run Facebook ads, that's paid media. Instagram ads, paid media. If you pay Twitter, that's paid media. Advertising on Twitter, native advertising, that's paid. So that's paid media. The problem or the issue with paid media is many times, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be spending more on the paid media than what you actually bring in for revenue. So if you sell a product that gives you a $20 profit and you spend $30 to sell one unit and you only make $20, that means you've lost $10. So paid media can be great if the margins are there and if you understand how to create the ads that are going to generate revenue, and that's going to put you in a positive nature. So you're not going to be losing money, you're going to be making money. So that's paid media. Earned media. Earned media is when somebody, say for example, you're in a magazine. You didn't pay for it, but you earned that media. So somebody comes in and Black Enterprise writes a story on you. That is great exposure. You did not pay for it, but you don't control when that happens. That's called earned media. Say you're on a local TV station because of your business is new and it's exciting and it's innovative. That's earned media. Great exposure, but you cannot control that media. You have to hope and pray that somebody is going to come in and allow you to tell your story. You have press releases. So, for example, you send out a press release, you may be able to get earned media. A network or platform may decide to cover that. So if you think about platforms, everything that you're trying to do when you try to connect with new customers is usually on a platform. The problem is it's somebody else's platform. So we talked about paid media and earned media. The next media, which is the greatest type of media, is owned media, where you own the platform. I own and control Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast, and the website. So I can put any ads I want in the podcast. I can put any ads I want on the website. I own that. It doesn't cost me anything. And that's the beauty of it. So when people reach out to me for, partnerships or sponsorships, if it makes sense, then they can be the sponsor of an episode. Okay. So I own this media. I own this platform. And that is the beauty of owned media. When I have a new course that's coming out, then I don't have to pay to advertise it because I own the media. Now, sometimes I'll do paid media other places to get additional traction, but most of the time I don't. I listen to the BEB family, and when they reach out to me, hey, I want to learn more about this, or you should think about doing that. If it makes sense, I'll go ahead and create a program or some type of product, and then I'll sell it on the podcast. I'll invite you guys, never a hard sell. I invite you guys, hey, if it makes sense for you, go ahead and jump on and let's get it. And I'll show you what I know. The beauty of owned media, guys, is you can turn the faucet on anytime you want, like I mentioned before. So we have paid media, which you can use at any time. That's one of the benefits, but you just have to make sure that you're profitable because you want to make more than you're spending. So paid media, the benefits are you can turn that on at any time. The drawback is you need to make sure that you're profitable. You have earned media, which doesn't cost you a thing. The benefit is when you get that exposure, it's great. The con is you can't control when you're going to get earned media. And the best type of media, guys, is owned media because of all of the reasons that I just gave you. When you own and control the media, the profits are endless. And we always talk about successful, sustainable businesses. And we're going to get into the monetization aspect when we go through the 5 steps of building your platform. So that's paid media, earned media, and owned media in a nutshell. So we understand why we want our own platform, the benefits of the platform. And now we're going to talk about 5 steps to help build your own platform. Okay. Step number 1, identify the best platform for you. Identify the best platform for you. So if you like to write, you may want to do a blog or a newsletter. And don't sleep on newsletters, guys, because I'm going to give you a couple of examples later on in today's podcast. They're newsletters that are selling for millions of dollars. Okay, so if you like to write, a blog or a newsletter might be for you. If you like to do audio, you don't want to be on the camera, you can do a podcast. Okay, if you like using video, obviously you can do videos, which can be a video podcast. So identify the best platform for you. Okay. Now, if you like to be on camera and do videos, remember, don't necessarily just post your videos to YouTube because why? You don't own the YouTube platform. You're going to get a ton of exposure there, but you need to build your database, and you can also host your own videos on your own platform. YouTube is great. Leverage social media and YouTube and these type of tools to build your database. God forbid you get your YouTube channel shut down for some unknown reason. Okay. So identify the best platform for you. Think about if you're working at a job right now and you don't necessarily have a lot of time to do videos or necessarily do a podcast, you could do something as simple as creating a newsletter or a blog. So a newsletter, you find a topic or something that you have an interest in, something that you can monetize. You always want to think about the monetization aspect before you start your platform. How can you monetize? And we're going to get into that and when we get move further along in today's show. So identify the best platform for you. What makes more sense for you? Okay. Number 2, determine if the platform is going to be based on you and your personality, or will it be faceless? Determine if the platform is going to be based on you and your personality, or will it be faceless? So, for example, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Now, it turned out that it's based on me, but when I initially started the podcast, all I wanted to do was get guests on and interview them. What happened was I wasn't able to get a lot of guests at first because I was a new podcast, and this was 2014 when I started, right? So the times I couldn't get a new guest, I started doing solo shows. And what I found was that my solo shows were getting more downloads than most of my guests, unless they were high value guests. And so now I started this not to necessarily be the face of Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, but I started it to basically disseminate information. But what happened was it turned into Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and Jay Jones, because now I'm the face or the voice of the podcast, and the majority of my shows are solo. I only bring on guests when I get top of the line, top rated guests. So you need to determine if the platform is going to be based on you and your personality, or will it be faceless? Now, there are pros and cons to this, all right? So one of the cons is it's easier to sell a brand if it's not based on a person. So if I tried to sell Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast, if somebody else is doing the podcast, it probably wouldn't resonate as well as to the listeners that have been longtime BEB family members, because they're used to me, right? So that's a drawback. That's a con. But if it is a faceless business, say a newsletter business, okay, or just say a faceless YouTube channel where people just narrate, you don't know who they are, then that's actually a benefit, because you can sell that without you being the integral part of the business. So determine if the platform is going to be based on you and your personality, or will it be faceless. So it's easy to sell a brand not based on a personality, okay? So, for example, my flat iron brand, right? I'm a bald-headed black dude that never used a flat iron a day in his life. I wouldn't be a great brand ambassador for my two flat iron brands, right? So I'm behind the scenes. People are buying my brand and they don't know who I am. I don't have to be the face of the brand. I actually did an episode to be or not to be a black-owned business, right? So that was something where I had to determine, do I want to be a black-facing business, or did I just want to be behind the scenes? So determine if the platform is going to be based on you and your personality, or will it be faceless? That's step number 2. Step number 3, create an exit plan before you start. Create an exit plan before you start. Now, many times when we're starting a business, we have no idea what our exit plan is going to be. And I get it. Sometimes we don't even think that far. We don't even know if the business is going to take off. But have in mind what the exit plan is. Now, when I started Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, I never really thought about an exit plan, because it was something that I felt that I was destined to do. I was called to do. So I never thought about an exit plan. And I'm actually wondering how much longer I'm going to go on with the podcast, or is it going to morph into something else? And so you have to think about the exit plan. So here's a real life example. I talked about newsletters. There's a newsletter called Milk Road, and it's like a crypto newsletter that started, AI crypto type newsletter. And they actually in 10 months got over 250,000 subscribers, and they sold the newsletter for over $1 million. Okay, in 10 months. Now, that's an example of an exit plan. So these newsletters have exit plans, because most of the time it's a brand that they're selling, not the individual person. Okay, so number 3, create an exit plan before you start. If you're in the physical products business, you build a brand, you can sell that brand. Okay, so think about that. Step number 4, and we're talking about platform payday, how to build a profitable platform. Step number 4, drive traffic and build your database. So once again, guys, you want to use social media and leverage it, social media and other tactics, to drive traffic to your database that you own. All right, we're talking about ownership right here. You own the database, okay? You own your podcast. You own your blog. You own your content. But you need to be able to deliver it in a way on a platform that you own, okay? Here's an example, and I know YouTube is super popular, but if you have a video podcast, right, obviously you're going to put it on YouTube, but what you also want to do is put your videos up on your site. God forbid something happens on YouTube, so now you can direct people to your site. You're not going to get as many views, obviously, but you're not going to be ass out like my former coaching student that lost everything when his Instagram account got shut down. Okay, drive traffic to build your database. Okay, The reason Milk Road was able to sell for over $1 million in 10 months is because it had 250,000 subscribers. It's all about the eyeballs. So when people advertise on my podcast, they always talk about what's my CPM, how many downloads do I get per episode, because that's how they measure it, okay? So you have to understand, drive traffic to build your database. Your call to action should be sign up for my newsletter, join my database, even if you're using a lead magnet to get those email addresses and phone numbers. So if you want to do SMS or text messaging, name, email address, and cell phone number. If you get that, you're locked in. You'll always be able to connect with people. And tip number 5, monetize your platform. And we're going to go into this a little bit deeper. Monetize your platform, okay? Now, when you're starting a business, the easiest way for me is to have a problem and you provide the solution. And the formula I use is problem, solution, result. What's my audience's problem? I'm their solution, be it my product, service, or whatever. And what's the result? What happens after they use the J. Jones solution? Problem, solution, result. Many people start businesses based on their passion, and that's fine too. That obviously can work. Problem, solution, result. What problems does your audience have, and how can you solve them? That is the easiest way to make money. So let's talk about some monetization aspects. So on your platform, I'm not talking about YouTube and all that stuff. YouTube, obviously, you can monetize it based on your views. But once again, if your YouTube channel gets shut down, then your business is shut down. So we're not talking about that. Okay. Now let's talk about number 1, paid ads or sponsorship. So when you have a platform, a podcast, a newsletter, whatever it is, a video channel, people will pay to be on your platform. Remember, I talked about paid media, right? So now you're on the other end of the paid media. You're not paying somebody. You're actually having people pay you. So paid ads or sponsorships. So I've done paid ads with a lot of big companies, Shopify, a whole ton of companies that I've done paid ads with. So paid ads or sponsorships. That's one way to monetize your platform. Another one is selling your own products or services. And once again, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. So when I sell an online course or a training program or whatever, that is my product, something that I created. So I'm able to sell my own products. And let me go back and digress real quick. And I say this every time on a lot of the podcasts, but there are only 6 things that you can sell, guys. 6 type of things. Your physical products, your digital products, and your services. Somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, and somebody else's services. So if you write down those 6 things and in columns, you can come up and create different products or services that you can sell. So number 1, you can monetize by paid ads or sponsorships. You can also monetize by selling your own products or services. You can sell somebody else's products or services like affiliate products. Okay. So if you're in a certain space or a certain vertical, and I'll just, for example, say you're a fitness coach and you're doing coaching and training and you're doing exercise, working people out. You may find an affiliate product for a supplement that you can make money on. Okay. So that is an affiliate product. And here's something, guys, an easy way to make money with affiliate products based on your vertical. So if you have a newsletter or you have a database and whatever problems that your audience has, you can put a link in an email to your database offering a solution. So if you have a newsletter about getting in shape or fitness or whatever, you can literally place an ad in your newsletter for an affiliate supplement, something that connects with your audience. Literally, all you're doing is adding a short article or a link. It could be just an email saying, hey, I know you're on my newsletter. I found this great supplement that can help you A, B, C, D, whatever it is. And you can make money with an affiliate product or service. And we're talking about step number 5, monetizing your platform. Another way is you can create live events, workshops, and expos. So sometimes I'll do live workshops, which I charge for. Or you can hold big events, Afro Tech. You got different type of events, black business incubators, any type of thing where you can create a live event or workshop. It could be live in person or it could be online. That's another way to monetize based on your platform, okay? You also have coaching and consulting fees. So I do a lot of coaching for the BEB family members. They reach out to me. We engage in a dialogue, and if it makes sense for them and if it makes sense for me, then I'll do coaching and consulting with them. So I generate revenues that way based on my BEB platform. I'm not doing anything extra, right? So I got the podcast, I got the website, and I have all the ecosystem around BEB. And what that does, guys, it allows me to build a successful, sustainable business. But it's funny because this is only about 35% of my income. 65% of my income comes from my online products and other things that I'm doing, okay? Another way to monetize is you can create VIP experiences for members or exclusive content. So there are a lot of membership sites out there that have exclusive content. For example, BEB Academy, go to newbebacademy.com. We have content. All of our exclusive content is in the Academy, and it's only $29 a month. Okay? So it's a different type of experience. We got live group coaching once a month with me. We have the collaboration with the other people in the community, and we also have additional online courses and resources to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Okay? So that's a VIP experience or an exclusive benefit with exclusive content. And the other way is, I just kind of mentioned it, is building a community and charge monthly. So a lot of times people want to be in a community or a mastermind or a cohort where they're working with other people, so you get that camaraderie and that collaboration. So these are ways, guys, that you can actually monetize your platform. Once again, I'm not saying don't use social media, but understand that you don't own and control social media. The greatest media you have is owned media. The greatest media you have is owned media. Here's another thing, and I'll talk about YouTube real quick before we close it on out. There are a lot of people that are building tremendous businesses on YouTube. So $1 million worth of gain with Wallow and Gilly, right? My Philly brethren. They are in partnership with Barstool Sports, and they've got a massive 8-figure contract with them. The beauty of it is it's something that they own. They own their own media. The problem is that it's on YouTube. So if for some reason they get shut down on YouTube, guess what? That's going to go away. They got millions of followers, but they're using somebody else's platform. Okay? It's great while it lasts, and it's all good until it's not, right? So you're going to ride that wave. I get it. You're going to ride that wave, but then you don't want to wake up one day and your stuff got shut down. And now you're like, damn, I should have built that database up. I should have had my own platform where I connect with people. And that's the importance of it, guys. Before we get to the last segment of the show, guys, I just want to share all my social media contact information and resource links real quick. Everything I'm about to tell you is on the website. Go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. If you're lazy, just go to bebconnect.com. It's going to take you right to the website. Top of the show, I mentioned newbebacademy.com. Check it out. There's a short video you can watch. It's a great place to get additional resources to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. If you want to connect with me, guys, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts, guys. The first one is jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Don't forget YouTube. I just mentioned YouTube. Make sure you guys go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit that subscribe button. We have additional content on YouTube that is not on the podcast. Now, for all you first-time listeners, the show drops every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can guarantee you're going to get new heat from Jay Jones and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, type in Jay Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. I'd love to connect with you on any of the platforms. Now, also for you first-time listeners, wherever you're listening to this or watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when new episodes drop. Now, let's do a quick roundup of today's show, guys. We're talking about Platform Payday, how to build a profitable platform. Don't sleep on building your platform, guys. It is a long play. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, I did give you some examples like Milk Road, the newsletter that sold out for over $1 million in 10 months with 250,000 subscribers. Don't sleep on newsletters. Trust me. Also, guys, what you have to understand is once you control and own the platform, you own the media to it. So your monetization is literally right there in front of you. So whatever your audience needs, whatever problems you can solve for them, or whatever they tell you they want, you have the opportunity to generate revenue and monetize it because you own the media, you own the communication between you and your audience because you've built the platform. Do not sleep on it. Once again, guys, it could be a newsletter, it could be a podcast, it could be a blog, it could be videos, whatever it is. Make sure that you understand the importance of the platforms. Think about how much money you're spending now advertising on other platforms, right? It could be something as simple as getting a shout out on somebody's Instagram page. You paying $50, $100, whatever it is, based on the number of people on their page. Now, granted, that's a platform, but they don't own it. You want to build your business on rock, not sand, okay? And that rock is ownership. That rock is something that you control. Remember, there's paid media, earned media, and owned media. And owned media is the best media you can have. Don't sleep on it. Now, I say this each and every week, family, because it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the ecosystem, the website, everything that we're trying to do to help elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.